beginning of our film, we're introduced to our protagonist, Batman. And because this is a Batman film, we see Batman do what he does best: take down a group of thugs. This immediately hooks the audience and sets the tone for the film. When asked, "Who are you supposed to be?" we hear Batman utter those epic words, "I'm vengeance." And as easy as that, we're transported into the dark world of Gotham. Through Batman's monologue of his diary entry, he actually establishes his internal flaw, which is Batman's been on the scene for about 2 years. He's still relatively new to this whole vigilante thing. And the whole reason he's created this persona as Batman is to make a positive change within Gotham. But he doesn't really know if he's having much of an effect on Gotham, or at least the one he wants. Phase 2 begins when our character has a want. For Batman, it begins when he arrives at the Mayor Don Mitchell's murder scene. Even though I doubt Batman at this point in his career has gone up against someone like the Riddler, with the ciphers, he realized he must find and stop the Riddler. This sequence is beautifully ended by the eye contact Batman shares with the child, scarcely resembling the fear Bruce must have felt when he found his parents dead. After Bruce and Alfred do some detective work, our first cipher leads us to Don Mitchell's garage. It is here we find Don Mitchell's mutilated thumb inside of his car, attached to a thumb drive. This thumb drive contains pictures of Don Mitchell leaving a nightclub with an unidentified woman. In these pictures we see Penguin. And to not get into too much of the plot, we go to pay Penguin a visit to uncover any information he has on Don Mitchell's murder and who the woman is he's leaving the club with. This is our unfamiliar situation that our hero goes on to achieve their goal. Adapting to every obstacle at every turn, we see our hero Batman team with Selena Kyle as Catwoman to gain access to the underground club 44 and below, coerce information from corrupt government officials in Gotham, to gain more information to who the Riddler might be and what it is that he's after. As you can see, this is where our character becomes more proactive. This is when they start making plans on how they're going to achieve their goals. Dan Harmon likes to call this the search. This is where the meat of our story is going to be. This is where we take the audience on a journey. Our transition into Phase 5 leads us into what Dan Harmon refers to as the meeting with the goddess. In this progression of our story, we take an unexpected twist. This is where our hero is brought to their lowest point. This is also where our character will do most of their growth, given that it's when we are on our lowest points, we're susceptible to the most change. This is where Batman realizes his parents' legacy may not be what he always thought it was. Phase 6 is where our character has to pay a heavy price. This is also the point in the story where our hero realizes the theme. To consolidate this in one scene, I'd have to pick the part where Batman realizes he must jump on top of the live wire and cut it to avoid electrocuting all the citizens of Gotham. In a very baptismal way, we see Batman rise from the water as he lights a flare to guide the people of Gotham out of Square Garden and into safety. Phase 7 is where our hero returns to a familiar situation. This is also where they become the master of both worlds. Having gone through their necessary journeys, they've conquered their internal and external struggles. Unfortunately for Batman and the citizens of Gotham, their familiar return is Gotham flooded and in shambles, which is honestly not too far off from where we started. Lastly, we have Phase 8. Having changed, Batman realizes that Gotham doesn't need vengeance, it needs hope. And more importantly, they need someone to guide them to it.